The Regents podcast. The Regents podcast. Welcome back to the Regents podcast. I'm
Welcome.
Ellyn.
And I'm Aja. Oh, man.
Thank you all so much for joining us this week.
Absolutely.
We are diving into some of the hottest topics of the century.
Which are?
What's going on in your life, Aja?
Yeah,
to be
please.
honest, everyone listening
Tell
to this
the truth.
podcast, let's just give you some of the real. Me and Aja have been talking since
3:50.
12:50,
Yeah, exactly.
1 o'clock.
Yep.
So you're, so we've been on a call for
Already.
90 minutes, but we had to talk about off camera,
That's right.
real life, best friend
Yes.
shish.
Yes.
Okay. And now that we have fully digested offline, real talk, best friend shish.
Yes.
You find
and now
us
we're
here.
here for the Regents podcast.
And now we're here for the public-facing conversation that is the Regents podcast.
Stuff that y'all can hear.
Exactly. So we're really, really happy to be here. It's been we're going to do the segment of like life update, work updates, just like checking in with each other on how our businesses are going. And then we're going to have a little bit of like a topic for discussion. And then you know how that goes. It's just us off to the races after that. And third, I just want to give us a little bit of a kudos and a little bit of a shout out because we have been doing this consistently. There's been quite a few episodes posted at this point. We're not going to say what because nobody needs to know when we record these. But essentially, we have quite a bit of content out in the world at this point. And I just had a thought about that as we were literally pressing record. And I'm really proud of us for staying consistent, doing it, putting things into the world that we are excited about, that we're proud of, always tinkering, always trying to figure out like when do we post, what should we post, recording the episodes, this is working, this isn't working, the microphone's working. Like it's no matter like all the little things, bumps along the way. Yeah, we've remained consistent and we've been really on top of it. And so I'm really proud of us.
I'm so proud of us as well. And you know, with anything in life, consistency is important. And I know that it helps having Ellyn for me as my accountability partner for something like this, you know? So it's really great for both of us. I love the premise of this podcast, and I'm happy that we get to kind of share all of our things with each other and then with you all, consequently. But yeah, this is definitely something to celebrate. So yeah. Oh, go us.
Yay. Go us. Can I tell you, I had a friend DM me. She listens to our podcast on, I think she listens on YouTube or maybe Spotify. Shout out to Michelle. I know she's going to hear this. And she is also on a solopreneur journey. She is, she's just crushing it, killing it. I see what she's posting and I know what she's working on because she's from back home, my hometown. She's close with my mom, my sister, and I know she's like crushing it. She said as a solopreneur, she's like misses that kind of like coffee clutch, coffee talk in the office, water cooler, if you will. And she's like, it's cool to hear and to listen to you guys. And that's what it feels like because it's people who are doing what I'm doing, but also coffee clutching and chit chatting and kiki and exactly. And she's like, and I was just like, so sweet. So what up
shout
to
out
you,
to Michelle? Thank you.
A member
Our
of
Regents family,
Regents podcast, the Regents family.
We love that. Yeah,
just doing it.
We are doing it. Okay, because not doing it is not
just doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it.
I love that for us.
You know those shirts? You know the like antisocial social club shirts? with the like, we should not
Not
doing
doing
it,
it.
not
Not
doing
doing it
it,
equals not doing it.
not doing it. Just like not doing it, not doing it. And people can interpret it as they want. They'll be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm not doing that. But then it's really like,
No.
no,
Yeah.
it's about doing it. It's about doing
It's actually about the opposite of that. Like,
it.
just do it, is
It's the
really what we're
opposite.
trying to say.
It's opposite day.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, first segment is just like a check-in. How is it going? What is going on in
Yes.
your life?
Our quick
What do you have to
updates.
tell us?
Quick updates for moi. I am working my little behind off, and I was telling Ellen
Yeah.
offline, I'm a little tired, but I'm looking forward
Mm,
to getting a chance to kind of like reset this coming month. So that's really kind of where I am. But I have like all these shows coming up, which I'm super grateful about. But there is a lot of work, okay? Like, let me just say that I've always looked up to different artists and stuff like that. But when you really dive into whatever it is that your industry is, and you focus on that
yeah.
100%, and especially, on the solopreneur route that we're on, there's just so much. You have to wear a lot of different hats, and you have to be consistent and accountable to yourself. So it does take, you know, a lot of work, especially because I have goals, and we've spoken about this before. Like, I'm super intentional about things, and I'm also very particular. I'm a bit of a type A person,
Mm.
so so that I also kind of put certain, I don't want to say pressures, but like I hold myself up to certain standards that I really want to hit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So there's just a
Yeah.
lot going on in a good way, though. But I'm let me just say I'm thankful for and grateful for the team that I have yet to meet. But I know that I will meet them.
Oh, I love you. I love you like speaking
Yes.
things into existence and like speaking
Child.
intentionally like that. You're like the team that's going to
Yeah.
help me do this in the future. I'm going to
So
be
grateful. I'm
so
gonna love
grateful for
y'all.
you because of the way I feel right
No,
now.
really.
Yeah.
But that's a quick update.
I
I'm
feel
very
that.
excited and
I
looking
feel
forward
that.
to the second half or whatever of the year. So yeah, that's where I am. No,
Can you believe
cannot.
that's where we're at? It's
Child,
halfway through
what?
the year.
How? I very much remember the
I'm not
end of
sure.
2023, like, and the stop of the year,
It was a
top of the
second
year.
ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insanity,
It
actually,
is.
if we think about it.
So,
Oh yeah,
what
yeah.
about
Yeah,
you?
I feel you. I think this is like a good like halfway point through the year. I think it's like a good time to
Mm-hmm.
take stock, evaluate
Yeah,
what's going on, like get through all the projects, get through all the things you've got going on, then kind of like, all right, let's take a breather, let's take a
exactly.
reset, let's kind of figure out how to do things
Mm-hmm.
anew or differently. I feel like I'm in a similar space of like I have felt
Yeah,
like go go go, and I've been working on like scheduling in time for like quiet so that I don't feel
exactly.
like I burn out. Um, but I feel like I have been like, I'm like, I need to do more, but where is the time for more? Like, there's just so much that needs to happen and so many
Right.
things I want to do that I'm like, I, I'm, I'm like, I'm not type A, but I'm like
Mm-hmm.
a type A wannabe. And I feel like I am like trying or needing to be more and more and more type A and like really schedule myself so that I can get like the most
Mm-hmm.
out of my day, like squeeze the most out of it. And, um,
Mm,
you know, necessity is the mother of
absolutely.
invention. So maybe I will
Yeah.
become more type A because I just
Yeah.
absolutely need it.
Right.
Because there's just so many things. Like there's so many things I want to like film and edit, and I'm just like,
How? How?
there's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day. And then I write all the things down, and I'm like, oh my god, you still never you filmed it, but
Mm,
you didn't edit it. Like that's just like sitting in your phone. Like, girl, you're gonna get that out of
yeah.
the drafts. So that's something that I'm kind of like really thinking a lot about. Is just like how do I like I'm
Yeah.
productive, I'm doing well, I'm like really happy with the level I'm at, but it's like
To
I
the
need to
next
take it
level.
to like the
Yeah.
next
I
level.
get. that. 'That.
Um, yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot and just like, 'cause there's just so many things. Like there's so many things I wanna, like, film and edit, and I'm just like, there's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day. And then I write all the things down, and I'm like, oh my god, you still never film you didn't edit it. Like that's just like sitting in your phone. Like, girl, you're gonna get that out of the drafts. So that's something that I'm kind of like really thinking about is just like how do I I'm also happy to say, like, I had like another
Mm,
inbound client reach
very
out type
nice.
thing of like, let's do something together very quickly. So I was very
Yes.
happy about that. Um, so it's like I started getting like a little bit like, oh my God, like where's the money gonna come from? I need like, but I'm like, the deals are coming in. So I don't know where like this like fear is starting to creep
Maybe
in. So I just
familiarity.
kind of like have to like look
I
at
said
it.
maybe it's like
What?
familiarity from before.
Yeah. Or like fear of things working out. Like, oh wait, it's like starting to work out. So
I don't
like
have
I'm
to.
not gonna live in the headspace of like this isn't gonna work. And now I'm living in the headspace of like, oh, it's working and now what? Like
Right, now
now
you
it's the
gotta
next
explore
step.
that.
So now yeah. So I'm just kind of like acknowledging the fear, looking at it, and also just like when this opportunity
Mhm.
like comes, I'm just like thinking of an
Abs
abundance. Like
Yeah.
abundance mindset, opportunity is
Mhm.
coming to me. I'm literally seeing that play out. I'm doing the work. I'm making sure I'm ready for opportunity. I am open to luck. I am not
That's right.
relying on luck. And right. And like I have to kind of like remind myself of that because, you can get in your head and be like,
Mm.
it's not enough. I don't have anything going on. And it's like, okay, but there was like, first of all, there was a time when you didn't know what you wanted to do. You just quit your job and
Yeah.
just didn't know what was next. Then you figured out, okay, this is what I can
Mhm.
do to make money and started to grow that. And now we're 6 months down the line because I didn't do any of this work 6 months ago. Now we're 6 months down the line and I have like,
Things
okay, I've got
happening.
like like a consistent
Yeah.
client thus far. I've had inbounds. I've had like good deals. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I've not
No.
made
Right, you're
zero.
making it happen.
So exactly. And now I'm just like, okay, cool. Like what are some other ways I can start operating? Like maybe I can start bringing in clients in
Yeah.
different ways,
Yes.
right? So that's kind of something like my brain is like,
Mhm.
okay, cool. Now let's do that. Like course
Right.
of action. Let's make a plan. Let's attack it like we've been doing everything else. I don't know why I'm talking in a we. There is
You're
only one of
speaking it
me.
into existence as well. Team
Yeah,
Ellen will
right. I'm like my
fly.
team. I swear. There's this girl that I used to work with at Refinery, and she's so sweet. And she um like always was like, when you're ready to take it big time, when you need a
Ah,
manager, like, I'm going to be down for you. Like I will hustle for you. And she is like
yeah.
so boss. Like I would love to have
Yeah.
her on my team, truly. And I like every time she says that
Mhm.
on social, like I don't think
How
she
much that
knows
means.
like what that does for me and how much that
Listen,
means
I
to me.
love that. Ellen, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because same thing. I have
Yeah.
people in my corner who every time they like send a message, and I'm not looking for fame, but when they say like superstar, like, oh man, like we on our way or something like that, it really does. That type of encouragement does so much for us because we're
Yeah.
solo right now, in building our empires. But it means the world when people encourage and actually believe in you. Like, what? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. God bless.
Because it can be very like,
Mhm.
it can be lonely. It can feel like an
Yes.
echo chamber. That's why we're doing this. That's why we have the podcast. That's why we're
Yeah.
talking about this stuff. It's like you're putting all this stuff into the world, making all this content. It's like it's not hitting. It can get really like you can feel down on yourself. You can have like
Mhm.
really high weeks, you can really low weeks. But like if you kind of take a step back, right, and like try to see and try to appreciate like the wins or the pats on the back from the
Yeah.
people who believe in you or the people who inspire you or who you look up to and are saying things like
Mhm.
that to you, right? It's like it's not that it's not enough to hear it from like
Right.
your
Right,
mom,
right, right.
you know, or your best friend, but it's nice to hear it from somebody also who's like maybe in the space
Yeah.
that you're in or also who I respect the journey that they've taken in their career and like what they're doing and the fact that they're looking at me being like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Like I actually just had in the like literally in the last like 24 hours, somebody DM me about a like the
Mhm.
crumble
Yeah.
series that I do,
Love
which
that
is
that's a
really
crumble
more of
series.
like a crucifying of
Yeah.
crumble than anything else. I feel it's not a winning endorsement of crumble is what I'll say every week. It's more of
Yeah.
like me critiquing them. But she was just like, dude, I went and got crumble today because of
Mm.
you. Like, I'm so curious to hear your review if you're going to post one this
Oh,
week. And I was like, I'm on my way. I'm going there now.
TBT.
And then somebody else this morning just DM'd me and was like, oh my God, I just binge
Mhm.
watched the show that you've been watching and I'm dying for you to post the last
Oh,
episode review. Like, I can't wait to
yeah.
see what you have to say. It's
Mhm.
sometimes hard. And I know we said this like one of our first episodes, like accept compliments,
Oh,
like
yeah.
just talking about like women
Yeah.
and accepting compliments, but just in general of like accept though, like let
Yeah.
those things in. I struggle with that. I'll push that shit away
Mhm.
so far. I'll act like it's a plague. It's COVID 2.0. I'm like, don't. I'm like, I didn't even hear that. You said something
Oh
nice about
my
me.
god.
Go over there. Like
Go over
you
there.
proud. What? That doesn't mean anything. Like I'm
Oh
Teflon
my
Don over here. It
gosh.
pops right off. Like I just genuinely push that shit so far away from my brain, and it's like I have
Yes,
to not
don't do
do
that.
that. I have to allow. It's
She's working from it.
I
Yeah.
gotta figure that out. I'm working. I'm always working on something. I'm always like working through like why am I like
You gotta
this? What do I
change
do
that.
about
Yeah.
it? You know. Um, but I think that it's like,
Mm.
okay, how about I just sit in that and be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
cool. Those are just and these people like, you just DM me out of nowhere, but it's like you don't know what it
Exactly.
means
That little
to know that somebody's like it's just
it's
like
a
a
keep
little like
going.
keep going.
Exactly. Just keep
Yeah.
pushing. And, that's
Yeah.
so important. It's really important on a journey like ours. So, and shout out to Ellen
Yeah.
because the fact that we had this
I think I was like DeGeneres. I was
your
like, who are you talking
face,
about?
you looked so like who?
I was like, who's she talking about?
You see what I'm saying? She's Teflon Don. Okay.
I have a problem.
Girl, I'm talking about you. Shout
Oh
out
my
to
god.
Ellen with a Y because, like obviously we're doing this podcast for you guys, but obviously it's also for each other. And it's been so helpful to have someone that I could speak openly with about all the things that happen on a week to week
Mhm.
basis. And we do these podcasts every week, and it's such an important part of the week because we get to check in, we get to dive deep about all of the things. And it's a blessing that we kind of came upon
Yeah.
this time in our lives, like pretty much at the same time. I think that's so crazy. Like if you go back in our story
Yeah.
and when we first met, these two girls in college for freaking red caps at University of Hartford, and the way our lives
Mhm.
have kind of just gone, and here we are at such a pivotal moment. It's crazy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is really nuts if
Yeah.
you think about it, and like the fact that like it's something we've spoken about, but the fact that it, life presented the
The
opportunity and
timing.
the timing around the same time is wild. And I
Supernatural.
think if we yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like if we didn't do this on a weekly basis, there would be an element of like, me, I love to like hide
Mhm.
and not tell people things and just be like
Yeah.
secret keeper. And it's like creates more of like a
Mhm.
transparency. It makes me feel like I can be more open about like, I've spoken about like I don't want people to worry about me or like I think about money more than I
Mhm.
ever used to in like good ways and bad ways. It's just keeping things like
Yeah.
honest for myself and being able to share in a way that's like safely vulnerable
Yeah.
for the internet, for the world,
Uh-huh.
for public consumption. It helps me
Yeah.
kind of like stay on track and like, when I'm editing an episode and rewatching, it really like is like sitting in my brain and making me think, we talked
Yeah.
about branding. Just thinking about like our brand and like who we are, I was thinking about I say things here in the way in which I would want to say things on my own
Mhm.
social handles. And I feel like I fear speaking like this on my social. Like I'm very apprehensive to share like this part of me. I feel like I do a lot of like
Yeah.
fun light, but there's a part of me that wants to pull this part
Mm.
of me into it. So I've kind of been like okay, if I can say these things when I'm talking with Aja, and if I can talk like this, you know, how do I pull that information
Yeah.
onto my account, right? Like, I think we were speaking about just like, body autonomy, and just like how I feel like we're like going back to like 2004 instead of 2024 when it comes to like talking about bodies and
Mhm.
diets and all that stuff. And it's like, I can incorporate that into my
Absolutely.
social. That's an aspect of who I am, and I've been just so like apprehensive and reticent. And it's like we talked about on the podcast, like how afraid I was to
Mhm.
launch Ellen with a Y, and it's like that same fear. And it's like, okay, but like that
You
was
did it.
good, that went well. So like, why don't you just do this
Right,
and like don't
right.
hide? Like the best of me online
Mhm.
is when I'm authentic and I'm like telling true and honest stories. Like I was saying to you before we started recording about like experiences
Yeah.
on dates or whatever. Like there's elements of that like I don't want to talk about all that stuff. I don't want to be one of those like social people who is just coming
It's just
online to talk about like the date they went on, and the dates are almost fodder for
mm,
social. Like I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to like disrespect the time that somebody else
absolutely.
gave
Yeah.
me. Like, it's not for me to share other
Mhm.
people's life, but little things that have happened on dates
Yeah.
are funsies,
Sometimes.
and I should be able to share them because I tell
Yes.
a funny story here
Yes.
and
A
there.
funny
So
storyteller she is indeed.
thank you. So I kind of need to I need to lean
Yeah.
into that more too, and I think that this is making me more
I
comfortable
love
to do
that. If
that.
I can be a catalyst, at least a part of a catalyst for Ellen with the Y live being reborn or not live, however it is, if it's broadcast. I am all about it. And it's almost like what we spoke about recently too. Your brand is a personality. Personalities have sides. You know what I mean? And so that's a part of you sharing.
Mm,
Yes, it's fun and light. It's also introspective and, so, and I'm sure so many
mm,
people will totally relate and resonate with, all the things that they have yet to know about you in that way, for your new fans, etc.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to make a
Yes.
community. I don't want followers. I want a
Yes. I saw something
community.
about that
And
recently
it's also
too.
yeah, oh, it's totally
Yeah.
like that's the way to approach it is
A
like not
community.
followers, a community. I like really look at like repeat, like audience that follows you, that do
Hmm.
they watch your content? Like that's
Yeah.
important.
Right. And
So,
what attracts
that's
them
why I
and
was
keeps
like,
them coming back. Yeah.
mhm. Mhm. I know when someone's just like, "Oh my god, I love your reaction to that." I'm like, "Oh, thanks. I appreciate
You
it."
don't know how much.
Like, oh, someone commented like immediate follow. Can't wait to see the
Oh,
reaction. I was like,
wow.
oh my God, somebody DM'd me once on Instagram, and because I posted like
Hmm.
a picture at the beach, and she was like, I'm glad that I'm glad you're out enjoying your life, but I need you to post the recap immediately.
Get to work.
She's like, go get to work, go
Oh
home
my
and get
gosh.
editing. I was just like, I was like, you're killing me. That's so funny. I was like,
Right,
it's
right.
edited.
It's
Don't
it's
worry, it's getting
coming
posted.
actually.
But like, yeah, like the fact that there's like anybody who's just kind of like, oh, I want to see what
Yeah.
she's gonna post. Cause I'm just like over here being like, you see all this social media content, you see all these people, and it's just also like
Mhm.
performative, where it all looks the same, where it sounds the same, where it feels the same. And it's just like, I want to be like my own unique thing, but I'm also
Bigger
contributing to this like
thing.
big, I don't know. There's just like a lot of thoughts
Yeah.
that run through your head. And you're like, well, what makes me different? What makes me
Because
unique? And I'm
you're
like, well, because I'm
you.
me.
That's it.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm me. Like, I am different from all these other
absolutely.
people. It doesn't mean I feel like a sense of like, I deserve this or I'm privileged or I'm better. I'm different and unique because
Exactly.
I am me. And I need to like, every time I start to feel less than, I just need to be like, okay, but that, like,
No,
stop.
exactly. And your your voice matters. And it's so true. Like some people in the way that if there's anybody doing any of the stuff that you do, there's a population of people that don't relate to whatever's out there right now. And they won't relate to it
Yeah.
until they hear it from you. And it's the same thing with music or a book
Yeah.
you want to write or, a speech you want to give or whatever. It's like it may not hit whatever's being said that you think has already been said a million times. It's gone over a million people's heads until you say it in the way that
Mm.
only you can say it and share it, with the analogy of your story and people get it.
Yeah,
So,
that's so true.
yeah.
I know part of me wants to just like start. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. I like
Don't
to
you
start.
love
Oh my
when
god, I love
Ellen
sound of
starts
music.
singing?
It's like I hate the fact that like I sing on this podcast. I think more than you
Yeah, you do.
do. No,
I love it. I love
like no, you're like
it.
yeah, you do. The oh my god, what was I gonna say? My favorite thing is when we break
Oh
out in
gosh.
song, and even though we're like
It was
separated,
insane.
it works. And
It's amazing. I'm
just
telling
like
you, supernatural.
I love that. I love that. I love that when we break like occasionally we break out into song, and then it's just like it works, and we're both just like. Mm, mm.
Such a vibe. Such a vibe.
I
Oh,
die. I
yeah.
die. Okay. So we're both checking in, checking
Yes.
up, and checking out. We're going to be taking some much
Mhm.
needed time, probably both of us, as we
Yeah.
kick off this summer. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to be here and available to you because we have
We got it.
got the content and
That's
you are going
right.
to get it. Yes. Um, so,
Mhm.
that being said, let us dive into just a little
Okay.
conversation piece here. And I wrote down, where is it? I have so many. Okay, can we talk about the fact that I have two pens in one
Mm.
notebook?
Okay. Wow. Bookmarks.
Taking notes in a unique way. We are taking notes in a unique way over
Oh
here.
man.
Oh, okay, wait. The quote from the in the book, because I know I think I mentioned this to you that there's like
Oh yes.
inspirational quotes
Yes, you
in this
did.
little
Mhm.
journal that I have. This quote here, I just noticed it. Throw up into your typewriter every morning. Clean up every afternoon.
Say it one more time.
Raymond Chandler. Throw up
Mm.
into your
Okay.
typewriter every morning. Clean up every afternoon.
Hmm.
Kind of spot on for what I was saying about like there's things I want to say and I don't know how to do it or when I'm going to how to go about it and I'm just like, yeah, why don't you just like
Yeah.
talk to camera, see what it
Mhm.
looks like, edit it or don't edit it,
But at
post it or
least
don't
it's
post it, or
there.
at least
Yeah,
record
yeah, yeah.
something. My god.
Clean up.
Try, Ellen. Give it a go.
Try. Oh gosh.
Okay. All right. So for this week, we're going to talk about support systems and the people in our lives that are supporting us, cheering us on, whether it be family, a partner, friends, etc. You know, we talked a little bit at the
Mhm.
beginning about people just kind of
Yeah.
cheering us on from the sidelines, reaching out, you know, telling us to keep going. And you know, it's
Mhm.
helpful and really great. And it's also really important to have like a tight network of your people
Yeah.
supporting you as well. So I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit about because we talked in a previous episode way back that Brandon was the one that came up with the idea for you to sing the
Yes,
national anthem when
that's
Obama
right.
came to Hartford. That is a real one on the
That's the
team. That is
real one
somebody
right there.
who you know what I mean? That's somebody
No,
who is
no
on the
doubt, no
team,
doubt.
okay? He's on the
He's on the
roster, he's
payroll.
on the payroll. So, I
Love
want to
it.
talk to you a little bit about like having your husband, your
Mhm.
partner in your corner in
Ah,
this experience,
yes,
as well as
yes.
family.
What do you say about a man as good as Brandon Moyer? That rhymes. Brandon is amazing. And, it really means a lot to have a support system. I'm married, happily married, and it means the world. It makes all the more difference to have
Mm,
him in my corner, just because obviously we share a life, you know what I mean? And we talk about everything. And when I was really starting to build the momentum for my music business, I had multiple conversations with Brandon, just kind of like, venting, going off on different things, different ideas I had, different fears I had before I took that leap and all that type of stuff.
mm,
And he's always been encouraging. And one of the things that I think is so great about our relationship, and I'm just going to speak from my experience, he creates this perfect environment for me to thrive. There's no There's no apprehension. He's very, like I can talk to him about something and he's never like, well, you should do this, or, he helps to guide me.
Mm,
And that's really, really
okay.
a godsend. So on this journey, aside from the
Oh.
fact that he is my photographer and personal videographer, it works. Okay. It just works. It's very
Which
nice.
is nice. Which is
Very
nice.
convenient.
Very nice.
But aside from that, just having his support and everything really does make all the difference, because there's space to grow, and and we grow together, we push each other. Even in his journey and all the wonderful, amazing things that he does. So,
It's like,
but it's awesome. It really, really is. And I'm grateful he's my number one support. But obviously I have my day one supporters too, like my parents. I'm so grateful. I remember
mm,
I did a show last year, and there was this young girl who came up to me afterwards, and she was like, "Can you just give me some pointers?" Because they kind of, read off my bio a little bit and all this. And so she's like, "Can you
yeah.
just like give me some pointers, because I really love to sing, and my parents aren't super supportive of me pursuing music and all of that." And
Mm,
I was just like, "Oh my god." Hurt my heart, right? And I'm talking to her, and I was just realizing how, and not that I didn't know this before, but I'm like, man, I was so fortunate to have parents who were not like, "What? You want to study music? Try again." Like, go the finance route.
uh-huh.
They were always just like, "No
Yeah.
regrets. We support you as long as you know what you're doing, and you can make a sound decision on what you're going to do and make it right. You have our full support." My parents are freaking amazing. Shout
Mm.
out to Brenda and Larry. And they still to this day are like my diehard fans. My family, my friends. I have so many friends, and I don't. You'll find that I don't talk. I don't like spitball names a lot. I'll always be like friend, a friend, a friend.
Mm,
But my bridal party, it really kind of boils down to that. And also some other like key people and my friend group who have been so supportive throughout everything. I'm just super grateful. And it helps, like we were talking before at the beginning of this episode, because it does give us that extra like push when you're just like, oh, there's so much work to do. How could I possibly?
yeah.
And then you see people who believe in you, and also the people who are watching you from afar, like for inspiration, because people are doing that. And sometimes I don't
Mm,
think, we think about that because we're just so in the middle of doing and building and whatever. But like people are
yeah.
legit maybe where we were a year ago. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
another big reason of why we do this podcast. So our support system works. They're encouraging us and we're encouraging the other people. And last thing I want to say, I've always, one of my like life's goals, when I had to make like a mission statement years ago, I was probably like 16.
Yeah.
I was like, I really just want to be an inspiration, because if I can like give to
Mm,
someone what the people who have inspired me have given to me, oh my gosh, like the way that could
mm,
bring like tears to my eyes right now, like I want to do that for somebody. So everything serves a purpose. Our support system, the work we do, no matter how big or small.
mhm.
So yeah, that's what it's like for on my end. Starting with me.
Yeah. No, I think it's so major to have people that like support you, or who, like you said, like from afar, like finding out, when you have like
Yeah.
really good friends, and you're talking about all the things. You're not always talking about like what you're doing, business or
Hmm.
career or whatever. And then to have somebody be like, "Oh my god, so funny, I'm listening to this episode
Yeah.
and XYZ of this podcast." And it's just like,
Hmm.
thank you. Like, thank you for showing up for me, even when it's not like, I mean, that's how you know that these
Yeah.
people are like your people. It's not performative. It's not because like I can give you anything, or I can like clout, or like because you want people to know that
Hmm.
you're supporting me. You're just doing it in the background in your own
Exactly.
time, being a support, and like share and like celebrating and cheering me on,
Hmm.
even silently.
Yeah.
To get that text of like, "Oh my god, I was just listening. on my way home from work, I'm dying laughing. And it's like, I didn't have to remind you to listen to the podcast. I didn't have to
Right,
like tell
right.
you, like, to have people that are
Genuinely
just like
interested
really
and
there for you,
yeah.
genuinely like, yeah, just genuinely want to like make it happen and like help you make
Mhm.
it happen,
It's
it's nice. It's nice to feel like you have that kind of like prioritized support from people where it's like they're
right.
thinking of you.
Um,
Um and I think like with parents, it's like it's nice that when I was deciding I really want
mhm.
to quit my job, that my parents were like, you
Yeah.
know what you're doing. Like, you know, whatever you want to do, we know you have a good head on your shoulders. We know that you're not going to make a rash decision where you're going to like put yourself in like a dangerous or precarious
Mhm.
situation, you know, and also know that we're here and you can
Yeah.
call us if you need help. I think that like that's really very kind
Oh,
and very like I'm like a full-fledged adult. I'm not like a kid
needs
that's like, "Mom,
permission.
dad, help me," or like
Yeah.
they pay for anything, like that's but the fact that they're like,
Mm.
and you can always come
Yeah.
home, you can always come home.
Yes.
Like if it doesn't work out or you run
Mhm.
out of money or like you want to keep doing this but you can't afford to live there, like you can
Right.
always come home. And like
Mm.
I really appreciate that. I appreciate that like my sister is like the same way. Like they're just like so
Yes.
celebratory and so cheerleadery, but also like and don't feel bad if something's not happening the way you want it to and
Right,
we've got your
right.
back. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. It's not just like good luck.
Right, they're allowing you space to, like, to grow and to fully be yourself, and, you can be real with us because that's your unit, you know?
Mhm.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And I really appreciate like my friends. It's so funny. I have friends that are like constantly sending me like, oh, I saw this like social media listing or I saw this posting about this like
Yeah.
brand, this really cool brand that like wants social media. And I'm like, that's so sweet that you're even like that you just
Exactly.
think of me like that. It's like, it may not even be like the right fit or something
Right,
I'm looking to
but they
do,
thought of
but it's
you.
like, you're thinking of me and that's really
Exactly.
sweet. And I
Yeah,
appreciate
right.
that. So I think that it's like, I feel like I've posted about this on the internet before, but something I really think a lot about is like
Mhm.
friendship and good friendship. And I see a lot of things online, particularly on TikTok, about just like
Mm.
bad friends, people who don't treat you well or who judge you or who make comments about you, or you leave hanging out with them and you feel
Ooh,
bad about yourself or you feel pressured to be X, Y, or Z. And it really like, that was always one thing I felt like I was very connected to myself on knowing who are my friends, who are here for me, who are good people, who treat me well, who do I pour into and they pour back into me. And I think that it's so important to have friendships like that and to recognize friendships like that and to also recognize when you're in relationships, friendships that are
yeah.
not good and are not helpful and do not pour into you, and that it is okay to step away from those types of
Yes.
relationships. Because it's not only that that person's not giving you anything, you're for sure
Right,
not giving them anything. Or if you're giving them all the things, you really
right.
shouldn't be giving it away.
Mhm.
Like you're being the best friend to them and they're not like returning that. Like I understand people get like anxious or nervous. I don't have any friends. I've got nowhere to go on a Friday night, but it's like
Yeah.
pour into yourself. Double
Double
down on you and then
down.
you're going to
That's
find your
right.
community. You
Yes.
know what I mean? I really
You're
kind of like
better
look
off.
around and I just see like, yeah, I just see so many people that are like, they're just like dealing with like some pretty like unfortunate friend realities. And I'm just like
Mhm.
so grateful for the friendships that I have in my life and really grateful for the people who are like not only
Yeah.
in my corner, but like just like I hate the overused phrase chosen family. I just feel like it's very like it just feels
Yeah.
like overused in
Yeah.
the world right now, but it's like there's people who like you've become
Mhm.
closer to than like, oh, that's just my
Right,
that's my
right.
friend. You know, there's people who like have been with you from the jump, or who, you know, gone through stuff with you, or who,
Yeah.
you know, I see, like, you see stuff where it's like, oh, you know, you need to have friends who like celebrate you and want the win for you as much as you do. And I'm like, what's the
Seriously,
alternative?
that's a prerequisite.
Like, truly, like, are you, it's like, if you're out there and you're friends with people, like, you would consider
Yeah.
someone like a friend, and you know they're talking shit about you,
100%.
or you know that they're like catty, or they're making comments about like life choices that you're making, like,
It's not the
that's not
same.
your friend.
Yeah.
That's not your friend, and you
Right.
deserve better than that,
Mhm.
you know? And it's like, I don't know, I think about that a lot, because I'm like, you know, I think also
Mhm.
like being single, I think people get worried for single
She
people, like,
doesn't
oh
have
my God, you don't
anybody.
have anybody. She's alone. Nobody loves her. And it's like, I, some of my friendships with my girlfriends are like, they're what I would consider very like intimate relationships. We're very close, you know, all the
Yeah.
things about me, right? Like, you can have an intimate relationship with someone, and
A
it's not
romantic.
like a
Yeah,
romantic
exactly.
relationship, you know? And I think that like starting to look at friendships and the community you build
Mhm.
around yourself as like, those are
They
intimate
are. Right.
relationships, you know? There are people who
Mhm.
know me like through and through, and are so there for me and ride for me,
Yeah.
and I ride for them. And it's like, I'm
No.
not alone. I'm
Yeah.
not lonely, you know? I just don't have like a
Yeah.
romantic partner at the time, but it doesn't mean that I don't feel the support of the
Yes,
people around me.
exactly. Because those relationships can be and should be fulfilling and rich, and nourishing to your
Mhm.
soul. So, yeah, people do, they definitely do that. They look at like, oh, well, she doesn't have anyone. It's like,
Yeah.
if she has good family, good
Yeah.
friends, she's good.
Yeah. Well, the big thing I think about a lot is like, you can't get
Mm,
everything from one
mhm.
person, right? So, okay, great. Me, I get a
Yeah.
partner, right? Everything. Everything is coming from that person.
Mm,
Absolutely
right.
not. That's not the way the world works. One
Your
person can't be
everything.
your
Yeah.
everything. You know, they add to you, you add to them. Your best friend pours into you in a different way. You pour into your best friend in a different way, and show them love differently than you
Yeah.
do your partner. Like, you show your parents love differently. It's just, I think that like people thinking that like a relationship is like the be all end all, or like that you won't know a love until
Mm,
that, or you won't know a love until you have your kid. It's just like, you can create this intimate ecosystem of
yeah.
people around you that are there for you and love you and support you, and you pour right back into them. And I think it is so, so crucial to have that when things are good, but when
Yeah.
things are not great, or when you're looking to make a big change or a big shift or leave your job, like, you got to be able to have like really real
Right.
conversations with people, and have somebody be like, okay, like, I'll never forget my friend when I was like gonna quit. I was like spiraling, truly spiraling. And she just has like this uncanny way of being, she like calls
Okay.
me when I need it. Like, I don't know how she knows. I don't know what God is planning, what the
Mm,
cosmos have, but like, I always said this to her. Like, she called me one time and I was like crying about something. I was like, how did you know? How did you know? She was just like, I don't know. I just had like a
yeah.
feeling, I had a sense.
Wow.
You know, it's just like
Mhm.
one of those things. So I'm always very grateful. Or like, I'll call her and she'll be like,
Right.
how did you know? I'm like, I don't know. I just had like
And
I
that's just
just was
your
like, I'm going to call.
connection.
So she asked me, she goes,
Yeah.
that's it, right? And she goes, what's like the worst that could happen, right? When I'm like, I'm going to quit. And so I listed all the things, and
Yeah.
they were
Of
pretty
course.
dramatic. If you know
She
me,
went all the way left, okay?
if you know me, you know what's so funny? I've like always known I was dramatic, but there's been like a little moment in my life where I've been like, oh no, I'm like more like even keel these days. And I was talking with my friend, and I was just like, oh no, I still have like a total tendency for dramatics. Holy hell. It's just not as like big. Like, I'm not as
Yeah.
like big about it,
That's
but I'm
fair.
like, oh, like the worst that could happen, I'm dead in a ditch. My parents are dead. My family's dead. I was a drug addict. Olive died.
Everything.
Like I lost my home. Like, I just like all the things. And
The
my
world
friend was just
ended.
like, the
Yeah.
likely the like literally a
Yeah,
zombie
yeah.
apocalypse took place. Like, and that was my fault. Like, it's just like Literally, all she did was like, what's the
Mhm.
worst that can happen? Like, say it. Say it out
Yeah,
loud. Say all the things. And I'm like listing all of this really
of
ridiculous,
course.
over the top, extreme worst case scenario. And then she's like, now, what is the likelihood of those things happening?
Mhm.
You know, before somebody intervened and
Right.
helped you, or you asked for help, or whatever. Like, what's the likelihood of these things
Yeah.
actually occurring? And I was like, well,
Mhm.
and sometimes that's all it takes, because that was really like, it really, and it sounds so simple, but it really kind of
Yes.
confronted me with
Help
like,
for you.
yeah, what is the worst
Yeah.
that's going to happen? Also, then we started talking like, what's the best that could
Mhm.
happen? Right? Like, oh, I could be happy. I could be living a life that feels more
Yes.
authentic. I could be in a career and making money in a way that I feel really proud of. Like, things could happen for me and I could get really excited about my life again. And like, a year later, I
Mhm.
do feel that way. I feel more excited about my life. I feel anxiety and stress and all the things that
Yeah.
it just different.
Exactly.
Like, they've transferred into different things, because that's just how I
Mhm.
operate as a human being, right? But like, I feel so much more turned on in my life, and so much more like I'm like attacking this world, and I'm like, wow, it like really just takes like a friend to be like,
Let's just help you walk through this,
okay, so
right?
what's the worst?
Yeah.
What's the bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, like let me like
Mhm.
hold your hand. Like, you're not alone. You might be here alone, but you're
Right.
not
Exactly.
alone.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
I
it,
love that. That's
you
so
know?
good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so important. I really like, and I've always been somebody, and I'm curious about you. Like, I'm somebody who,
Mhm.
it's not quantity,
Right.
right? I don't I don't need, what are we doing this weekend? Everybody's going. Let's all go together. Like, we're doing this. It's like
Yeah.
big
Right.
numbers,
Always a
always hanging
squad.
out, always like I'm so much more quality
Mhm.
relationships, relationships where we're really talking about
Yes.
real stuff. We're really diving in. It's
Mhm.
not just like, we can totally superficial, top level, joke,
Yeah.
joke,
Yeah.
joke, fun, fun, fun. That's amazing. But also, we talk about the realest
Yeah.
of the real stuff. Like, for me, that's what I need in friendships,
I
right?
always love that.
That, I've been doing that. I've been doing that for 3 hours now. We've been talking
For
for 3 hours.
me,
You guys are only
getting a
getting
bit of
a
that.
couple minutes of this, but I keep,
For me.
for me, what did I say in one of the earlier podcasts? It's like, I'm not judging you.
What did you
I just, for
Oh
me,
my gosh, what was that? It was so good. We're gonna have to insert that
I
clip.
was like, that's just not for me. I was like, I'm never
Right,
judging
right.
other people. Like, I'm not saying I don't like that thing because I think you're bad for liking it. I'm just saying, for
It's
me,
this.
it's not, it's a no.
It's a hard no. Um,
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I'm
oh
more like
yeah.
one-on-one, and like, I'm not like big group function
Right.
friendships. I'm more like
Same.
intimate friendships. Let's go have a dinner. Let's not
Yeah.
go to a
Yes.
party
That's
kind of
my
vibe.
jam. I too am more
Yeah.
of like a deep because all the friendships that I have, that's like how they were all built. It was all these like one on one.
Yeah.
We really get to know each other and like we know each other and we love each other and like this is real. And it's also
Yeah.
I heard something one time where it was just like my friends are not oh this is my brunch friend or this is a Friday night hang friend. Like no, it's my friend. Straight up, we can hang out on a Friday
Yeah.
night, we can go to brunch, we can talk about the crazy stuff, we can cry together, we can laugh together. Like it's just an all around type of
Yeah.
thing. And I think that's a what a lot of people kind of
Yeah.
encounter nowadays, in search of a weekend buddy or something, someone to do activities with or whatever, that you begin to start
Yeah.
compartmentalizing friendships. And that's gonna
Mm,
compartmentalize, your heart and stuff like that. So it's not, I look for those authentic, meaningful.
yeah.
And honestly, the reason why I say intimate over group is because to me, that's the only way that you can build that type of friendship. It's going to be hard
Yeah.
in a group setting to
Yeah.
really get to know everybody and everybody's on the same level all the child plays. Yeah.
I can't. I can't. I'm just like so not for the like big, huge group surface level
Yeah.
conversation of like, I just so it's just it's very
Mhm.
performative. It's very like exchanging of what do you know? What do I know? What do you
Mhm.
have? What do I have? What do you make? What do I make?
Yeah.
It's just very like it's just like
Yeah.
not for me. And I just recently like declined going to a very large group event. Um and I and it was like it just something I was just like I don't actually need to go to that. I understand that somebody really
Yeah.
wants me to go to that and that it means something to them for them, but I don't need to go there and have 15, 25 interactions where I'm basically cliffs noting my life for the last X amount of years
Right,
since I
right.
saw these people. And it's like I understand that that's something that this person in my life
Mhm.
wants to do, but for me, and I want to make them happy, right? But my mom always said like people only do what
Mhm.
they really want to do, right? When somebody doesn't go to something for you, it's because my desire to make you happy is not outweighing in this situation my desire to be
Yeah.
true to
Right.
myself,
Mhm.
right? Because there's a lot of situations that I go to that I don't
Yeah.
really want to be here, but like I know this means a shit
Yes.
ton to you, so I'm going to come, I'm going to put a smile on and I'm going to
That
like
part.
go do the
Yeah.
thing, right? And I feel like that's
Mhm.
relationships, that's partnership,
Yeah.
that's friendship. But then there are times where it's going to be
I can't.
no, like I need to this is for me, I want to protect and take
Yeah.
care of myself and that's just it's just not it.
Right,
I'm not going
right.
to go to this thing. And being okay saying no, which in the past I feel like I've been a little bit less okay with saying
Mhm.
no to that kind of stuff and just letting my cup pour into other people and then realizing and recognizing like
I'm depleted.
the cup
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
finite, right? The cup is finite and if I pour it all out, there's
Exactly.
nothing left for me. And I have things I need to do and people I need to see and the things I want to get done. And if I'm
Mhm.
empty, I'm empty.
For sure.
You know, I feel like that's like a lesson I feel like I've been un- unfolding and learning over the last couple of years of like, you don't have to give every part of yourself into every
Yeah.
social interaction and you can reserve certain parts of your personality and parts of yourself for your friends who are the people who have like shown who they are to you, deserve those parts of you. And then you can go to like a function and just kind of surface level, kick it around
Yeah.
and get out as quick as you can.
But you showed your face, okay? So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Cause I really don't love going to like
Yeah.
the big group stuff. But I also like on the note of like, oh, that's my brunch friend, that's my this friend. It's like that comes back around to being okay
Mhm.
being alone. That comes back
Yes.
around to being okay in your
Right.
own company. And it's like, I understand that you might be like you really want to go to brunch and there's nobody to go to brunch with and you might feel
Of
bad
course.
or
Yeah.
sad or whatever about that. But you can like choose to
Yeah.
still go to brunch
You can go.
if you really
Right.
want to have brunch. If you're just looking for like human interaction and brunch is the conduit,
Yeah.
okay. But like if you just really want to go to that place, go
You
to
can
that
go.
place.
You don't need anybody to eat.
Yeah, but I get it. It's scary. Like I
Yeah.
totally get it. It's scary. Like I like grew into
Mhm.
going to movies alone. At first I thought it was like,
Yeah.
that's lame. That's weird. Who are these people that are alone? They're freaks. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, they are
I'm
me.
they.
you know?
Yeah.
At a younger age, like in my early 20s, I'm like, I really want to go see this movie or I
Well,
want
I
to on a
think
Saturday.
I'm sorry
Like
to cut you off, but that's the thing, like, when you're younger, like, in your 20s, early
yeah,
20s, mid-20s, that's, like, taboo, like, "What? Why would you go by yourself?" And it's that's a
exactly.
society thing, I
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah.
No, it's so true. Like there's literally like there's like posts and videos of everything about like what you can do if you're
Yeah.
going to go do something
Yeah.
alone. Like if you're going to go out to eat alone, like bring a book. If you're going to go out to eat alone, like if you're go
Mhm.
sit at the bar, or if you're going to go to like going to a movie by myself is
Yeah.
literally the best thing ever. I love going to the movies with my friends, but it's amazing to
Yeah,
go to the
it's
movies by
just as
myself.
fun.
I love going to the movies by myself. You know what I mean? I'm like I'm not afraid of my
Right.
own company and I'm not afraid
Mhm.
of quiet. Um and I understand that some people like have to like they get their
Yeah.
energy from being outside, right? Like that's where I tell people like that is the introverted side of me. Like, I recognize that. Like, I really crave quiet and alone time. And I know that, and
Mhm.
not everyone's like that. But I also do think that there's an element of like being
Yes,
afraid to be alone,
absolutely. And I think everyone should,
you know?
at some level, be okay with being alone because it's not possible to always be,
Yeah.
there's a difference in isolating yourself and then also being comfortable
Yeah.
with being alone and having alone time. Not that you have to even be so
Yeah.
introspective and whatever in that alone time, but just be okay with being and being with
Yeah.
yourself.
I used to feel so self conscious about how comfortable I
Mhm.
was being alone when I had a
Mm.
roommate. Because it was like we
Yeah.
were very opposite. Like, one was going out, one was staying home. And it was like I felt self-conscious originally. I was like, "Oh my god, maybe I don't have enough friends, maybe I'm not this, maybe I'm not that." But I was as time went by, I think I kind of got more comfortable and more confident in like, this is what I
Yeah.
need though. Like, I
Getting what
need
I need.
quiet time. And like, I don't have to have,
I love that.
yeah, and it's like I don't have to have like every
Mhm.
weekend plans or Friday, Saturday, Sunday plans. I could have like a singular plan for the
Right, right.
weekend. And then I can have my time, do me, take care
Mhm.
of myself time. And I felt it's like a real full circle of like I felt like
Yeah.
self-conscious, and now I'm just like so leaned into like I don't
It's
feel
me.
any type of
Right,
way about
right.
that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I'm just like just living
Like
my
it's
life.
golden. Shout out to Jill Scott.
Yeah.
No, that's so
you know?
rich. And it's food for thought. If, people who
Yeah.
haven't.
Oh my god, food for thought. Do you remember when that used to be a segment on Ellen with a Y?
Yes.
And I would just do my little stand-up bits. I haven't heard that
See
phrase in
how
a while.
Ellen with
Food
the
for
Y
thought.
just keeps on coming up naturally?
Dude, she's
She's
everywhere.
literally everywhere, okay? She keeps saying,
Mm.
popping her head like, "Hey." Right?
Don't forget about
Hi.
me.
Oh, man. Wow.
Ay, ay, ay.
We're
She's
so
making her way. She's
excited.
making her way
Making our
back
way
out.
downtown.
I can feel it. Walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound.
What happened to her? Where are you, Michelle Branch? That's her name, right?
But is
Or
that
Vanessa?
Michelle Branch or is that
Oh,
Vanessa Carlton?
I think it's Vanessa.
Making
I
my
don't
way.
know.
1,000
Vanessa
miles, Vanessa
Carlton. Go ahead,
Carlton.
girl. Michelle
She she recently came out and said that song was about one of her classmates at
Oh,
Juilliard.
okay.
And so now everyone's like researching like who was at Juilliard at the same
Come
time
on,
as her.
girl.
It's a lot of different very famous
Wow.
people.
Vanessa Carlton.
Yeah, some people say it's Adam
Mm.
Driver. Some people say who else? Let me see.
I want to say.
I would walk 1,000 miles.
Da-da-da.
When did that song come out? 2002 that came out.
Wow.
Do you think time would pass us
Somebody get
by?
Ellen, please. Time.
You know I ain't walking 1,000 miles. Hey, you. Why is it
Tonight.
not saying who? Just hold
That
you
part, okay?
tonight. Olive's like, oh my god, a bird died.
Mom, get the burn off
Wait,
your
why isn't it
chest.
coming up? Like, who is it about? Who is it about?
Michelle Branch. She sang the song Everywhere. How did that go?
Everywhere?
Yeah.
Michelle
Yeah.
Branch? I am 50% certain Vanessa Carlton's song 1,000 Miles is about Glenn Howerton.
Who is that? I don't even know who that is. Do you hear that?
No, I can't hear it. It's Michelle Branch.
Yeah, everywhere. 26 million views.
Are you joking? Turn me
What?
inside out so
Okay.
I can breathe. The part of
It's the
you
creep
that's
up to the
drifting
mic.
over me. I'm reading the lyrics because I don't know those words.
Oh, okay.
And when I
I'm
knew
like,
this
she
part. And
knows
when
it.
I wake you're everywhere. But when I sleep you're everywhere. You're
I
everywhere.
see. Oh,
What's the
okay. Maybe I
chorus?
thought
What's
I
the
knew the song,
chorus?
but I don't. That's
I'm
it,
not
right? It's all everywhere.
alone.
Right?
Cause
Yep.
you're everywhere to me.
To me.
When I
When I
close
close
my
my
eyes,
eyes,
it's you
you
I
I
see.
see.
Everything I know
Everything I
that
know
makes
that
me
makes
believe
me believe
I'm
you're
not
not alone.
alone. You're not alone. You're
Oh
not
my
alone.
gosh. No.
It gets so creepy. You know, like you start to like change, you change like
Oh,
the intention and the inflection, and it's
of
just like,
course. Right, right. You're not
you know,
alone.
it's like when you close your eyes, it's you I see. It's just like, are you in the room?
Right, right, right.
It's hard to
Oh
think that
my
you might
god.
not be real.
Oh, see. Mm, yikes.
When I close my eyes, what time did
Michelle
this song? When
Branch.
did this song come out?
When did
2001.
this song? 2001.
We were
See, they were around
babies.
the same time.
Yeah, that was a time. That was a time.
Yeah, oh one, oh
Yeah. That
two.
was a time.
Mhm.
That was a time.
That was the time. That was
Yeah,
the time.
2000s pop Y2K playlist. Oh my God,
Wow.
Natasha Bedingfield. The
Oh
rest is
gosh.
still
Unwritten.
unwritten. Oh.
Yeah.
We did this another
Ellen,
episode.
cut it
We
out.
did this another episode where we just kind of like devolved into like early aughts music. This is
Early,
now like
yeah,
the girls. Those were the men.
90s.
90s.
Oh man.
Oh my
I
God.
can't.
Girl,
Wow.
put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just I want to let your hair down. Oh wow, that sounds so bad.
You sound beautiful.
No, I
Absolutely
like.
beautiful.
Oh, there's some Beyonce on here.
The Y2K playlist.
Crazy in Love. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh four.
Oh my God, Pon de Replay.
Never mind. Let
Mr.
me
DJ Punk Punk. Oh my God, like my robot moves from the other week. Come on the replay, Mr.
on
DJ
the
Punk Punk
replay.
Music. To turn that music up. Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, Everywhere is here. Who else?
What is
I'm
happening?
looking at like the women. Oh,
Who else?
Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, I love her. She's in a show that I want to check out.
Oh, that's a good one.
Underwater, and
And they
me
tell me to
breathe
breathe
easy
easy
for a
for a
while.
while.
Yes,
That's suicide.
therapy.
That's murder.
Therapy writing though. Okay, I love
Oh
her.
yeah, she's great. She just
Oh,
did. Isn't she?
she's
She's
on
the
the
one who's
show.
got. Yeah, she just did the like Girls Five Eva movie, and then
Yeah,
she also is the one who did the Waitress
the waitress.
musical.
Yep.
Sugar butter flour. It's one of the songs. Every
Right.
time I do a crumble cookie review, I
Uh-huh.
sing that, and I know no one's gonna get it. So I'm just like eating the cookie, and I'm
Those
just like,
who know, know.
sugar, butter, flour. Those are the flavors of a crumble cookie. Sugar, butter, flour.
Yummy. I want a
And then
cookie.
whenever they have like a flavor cookie, like there's I think a lemon cookie this week that I want to try. I'm
Yes.
gonna go get them today.
Lemon everything. Yes.
Yeah, but they
That was
always
one of the
never are
favorites.
lemony. There's never enough of the flavor. They had made
Well,
a
you need to
coconut
stop
cookie.
going
I
to
was so
Crumble.
excited, and I was like, "What the frick?" It's because you know what they do? They do sugar butter flour, and then somebody says the name of the flavor over the cookie, and that's as much flavor as it gets. That's what I think is happening in the kitchen. They said
Okay.
sugar butter flour.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, put it on the tray. Okay, lemon, and then that's it.
It's not
That's
enough.
as much lemon and gus
You
as got
need sugar,
integrated.
lemon, butter, flour.
We need lemon sugar butter
Yeah.
flour. We need like
Just goes to show you where I'm at. Okay.
please just to show you where I'm at. Like I'm like
Right. I said sugar,
You're like sugar,
lemon.
butter, lemon, flour. I'm like lemon, sugar, butter.
Lemon, sugar, butter.
I'm like, I want to have the lemon be
Oh,
zested.
man.
I want the zest to be
Yes,
rubbed
the
into the
zest is
sugar. I want the
what you
sugar
needed.
to be creamed into the butter. I want the
Mm,
lemon juice in that mixture. I want the
yes.
eggs mixed in. Okay.
All right, girl.
And then I
Somebody
want
needs to get it
a
right.
lemon drizzle on top of that cookie.
Mm. Now you're making me. I'm gonna go get a
Bro,
lemon
seriously,
cookie.
I just keep making my own versions because I'm like, I can do this better.
I think you need to try a new cookie spot.
Oh, I did. We tried a new one. We got me and my friend Alex, we like ordered it in because it's like a friend of a friend's company. It's called Gracie Baked. And
Mm,
we just ordered she's based in New York, so you could probably get the cookies pretty quick. They are some
okay.
complex, wild flavors. But
Really?
we
They're
tried one that
amazing.
was there's a hummingbird right there.
Oh. You don't like hummingbirds.
I love that you now have that reaction. No. Oh.
Oh.
Um
Wow.
what was that? What was I saying about the?
Grace cookies or
She
something.
had a Biscoff cannoli cookie.
Oh gosh. That sounds amazing.
It was very good.
Oh my
She had
gosh.
a corn-based cookie with blueberry jam,
Say
real
less.
cornbread in
Wait,
it.
what's the name of this place?
Gracie Baked.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. What is it? Corn and blueberry? Oh
It was
yeah.
a cornbread base cookie with literal cornbread, chunks of corn, honey butter,
Oh
and
my
blueberry
gosh.
jam. It was
Build
really
your
good.
own cake?
Yeah, she's got a
What?
lot going on. She's got a lot going on over there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Brown
Yeah.
butter, chocolate chip cookie with sea salt. Like, come on.
Oh my God. Go forth and build the Gracie Baked treat box of your dreams. Orders ship out on Mondays and Tuesdays. A super soft corn cookie stuffed with blueberry jam and a chunk of cornbread topped with salted honey butter stuffed inside. What? It sounds like it's for me.
There's a
So
lot happening with these cookies, though. I will say there's a lot going on. I'm like, sometimes I'm like,
that's fine.
we've lost the plot, but it still tastes good. You
We've
know?
lost the plot.
Yeah, I'm like, I
Not
don't
just
even know what this is supposed to be, but it's good. It tasted good.
so how are you supposed to get these like everything is sold out?
It sounds like she has some that are staples that she just always creates, and then she creates like new ones every month that are like the flavor of
Oh,
the month.
flavor of the month.
So like
Okay.
these
So
were
it's
like
best to start at the top of the month.
yeah, she does
Yeah.
some pretty crazy concoctions and flavors and just it's like a lot. So it's like if you
Well,
like a
you're
lot of
good.
stuff, go for it.
You'll love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean,
She did like a lemon cookie that had like a lemon curd in the center. It was very good.
I love lemon. Our wedding cake, one of the flavors was lemon.
Was it?
Yeah. It was we had
Mm.
lemon and then strawberry champagne or something like that.
Hmm.
It was really good. Both of them were really
I love it. You know, if you've seen online where the people do like, you can order like a wedding cake tasting kit and like a bakery will send you like, this is our chocolate, this is our chocolate vanilla, this is our vanilla, this is our
Oh.
vanilla chocolate, this is our carrot cake, this is our that. Like, yeah, you can like order like
Oh yes.
this is what we do. Here it is. There's the
A
9
tasting.
concoctions.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not even like a big cake person, but I love taste testing.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I like doing the crumble videos. It's like, I'm not even like a big cookie person. Like there's no cookies in my house,
Yeah.
you know? I just love taste testing new flavors. It's the new flavors that get me. They have a chocolate chip cookie every week. I never get it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I never get it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I just want to try the new stuff. I don't want it. I don't even really like chocolate chip cookies. So there's that.
All right. On that note,
Controversial.
because that's controversy at its finest.
I know, right? Okay. Well, thanks everyone for watching. And if you're not completely put off by the fact that I don't love a chocolate chip cookie that much,
Or a hummingbird.
oh yeah, got to add that to the list.
Yeah.
I got to start writing a list. I have an X list that I've been working my way through as TikToks. They're really funny. I think.
Oh,
I think they're really funny. But they're just like in general icks, not like people or
Of
relationship
course,
specific necessarily. There's like icks in general.
Yeah.
Okay, well, So check that out on my TikTok if you want to see. Thank you,
Where can I find
everybody.
you on TikTok?
Oh, yes. Yes. Thanks, everyone, for listening. You can find me at Ellyn with a Y, ELLYNAWITHY on Instagram and on TikTok. And Aja, where can the people find you?
The people can find me at Aja Moye Music on all platforms: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. That's at AJAMOYE Music, MUSIC, in case we need that. And my website is ajamoye.kizom. But
Oh, that's
yes,
right. EllynWithAY.com is also available these
live.
days.
Yes,
Yeah.
available these days.
Thank you, everyone, so much for listening to the Regents podcast. You can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at the Regents podcast, and you can listen wherever you're listening because you're listening or watching somewhere. But just know wherever you are, there's another place too.
Yes. And the tube. We're on the tube. YouTube.
Yes,
Yeah.
YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and just be sure to like give us a 5-star rating, give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, drop a
Like, comment,
comment,
subscribe.
all that
All of
jazz.
that. All of that. All right. We
Thank you
love
so
y'all.
much.
Thank you so
Love you guys.
much. Bye.
Bye. The Regents Podcast. The Regents Podcast.